Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about the MAC layer in the OSI or TCP/IP model. As you know, the computer network model, in case of OSI model, it has been divided into 7 parts, and in TCP/IP model, it has been divided into 5 parts. But both the layers have few common layers, like physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, as well as the application layer in terms of TCP/IP model. Now, when we are considering the MAC layer or MAC sublayer, it is a part of data link layer. The data link layer is having two sublayers. One, the logical link control, that LLC layer, or the medium access control, or the MAC sublayer. So, what are the functionalities of a MAC layer? The MAC layer provides an abstract of the physical layer to the LLC and the upper layers of the OSI or the TCP/IP model. It is responsible for encapsulating frames, that is merging up the frames, so that they are suitable for transmission via the physical medium. It resolves the address resource of the source station as well as the destination station or group of destination stations. So it is also working like a congestion control mechanism. It performs multiple access resolutions when more than one data frame is to be transmitted. It determines the channel access methods for the transmission. It also performs collision resolutions and initiating retransmission in case of collisions. That means it is also working like a error control or error detection mechanism. It generates the frames check sequence and thus contributes to protection against transmission errors. So what I was just mentioned, that it controls as the error control mechanism. So we are considering the MAC sublayer. It consists of the following protocols. These protocols are nothing but the plans to control the entire mechanism. First and foremost is the Aloha. Aloha is a system for coordinating and retrieving access for sharing communication channel. In early 1970s, in University of Hawaii has designed this protocol for terrestrial radio broadcasting. But the system has been then migrated for the satellite communication. So Aloha is nothing but a fixed protocol which checks and determines whether the data should be sent or not and on which medium the data should be sent. Next, the Aloha has been upgraded using CSMA, that is Carrier Sense Multiple Access. CSMA is a network access method used on shared network topologies such as Ethernet to control access to the network. Devices attached through this network cable listens, or the device listens means it senses the carrier before transmitting. If the channel is in use, device will wait before the transmission. Like multiple access indicates that there are many devices can connect at the shared same network at the same time. All devices have equal access to the network when it is clear. So there is no priority base. They can get this channel whenever the channel is free. It is depending on the bandwidth of the channel. Even though the devices attempt to sense whether the network is in use, there is a good channel that two stations will attempt to access at the same time. On large network, the transmissions time between one end-to-end cable to another stations may access the cable through they have already just accessed it. There are two methods of avoiding this kind of situations. That means when two stations are trying to access at the same time on the same channel, it may find some collisions. So for that, the CSMA has been upgraded into two parts, CSMA/CD, that is Carrier Sense Multiple Access Collision Detection. CD stands for collision detections. It defines whether what happened when two devices sense a clear channel, then attempt to transmit the data at the same time. A collision occurs and both devices stop transmissions, wait for a random amount of time or a given amount of time, and then retransmit. This is the technique used to access the 802.3 Ethernet network channel. This method handles collisions as they occur. If the bus is constantly busy, collision can occur so often that the performance drops drastically. it is estimated that the network traffic must be less than 40% of the bus capacity for the network to operate efficiently. So 40% channel should be used and the rest 60% should remain vacant. If distances are too long, time lags occur that may result in an inappropriate carrier sensing and hence collisions. So there are two factors. One, the channel should be kept empty or the bandwidth should be enough for the collision detection part, and another, if the communication distance is much higher, then collisions can occur. Next, more smart way we are doing it, collision avoidance. So we all know that detecting a collision is never better than avoiding a collision. Avoiding a collision is always better than detection. So in carrier in collision avoidance, collision are avoided because each node signals its own intent transmission before actually doing so. The method is not popular because it requires excessive overheat to reduce this collision and it overheats the performance. So every time there is a checkup before we sending the signal that if there is any communication is occurring or not. Thus it is delaying the process as well as it is putting up extra frames or extra packets on the channel. Thus it is overheating the communication. Thus is reducing the performance. So these are the basic things which are there in the medium access sublayer. And two more parts which needs to be taken care of, that is IEEE 802.4 token bus. In token bus station, one must have the possession of a token before it can transmit to the network. So a token is nothing but a secret number or a secret packet which has been given to the transmission of the data packet to be transmitted through the network over a wide medium. So fixed number of token has been allotted to the transmitter and it allocates the data packets to be transmitted through the network using that tokens. Now next comes IEEE 802.5 token ring. A token ring on that IEEE 802.5 standard is nothing but a token passing ring network with a star configuration in a physical topology. Internally, signal travels around the network from one station to the next station in a ring. Physically, each station connects to a central hub called MAU or multi-station access unit. The MAU contains a collapsed ring, but the physical configuration in a star topology. When a station is attached, the ring is extended out of the station and back to the MAU. If a station goes offline, the ring establishment with a bypass station connected. Token ring is a popular and extended period in late 1980s, especially by IBM. So this is not fully in use right now. It was very popular in earlier days. And this token ring actually gives access to the entire network using small tokens which always checks if a packet needs to be sent or not. It is always works on a fixed bandwidth and fixed number of transmission, and the bit rate of the transmission will remain fixed, and if the number of packets increases, the packets needs to be halt or wait or dropped before the transmission completes. So this is all about the medium access sublayer. For more queries, please drop in a message and I will sort out in the next session. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe.